What's up, everybody? Disco Demonic Hydrophonic. Today I'm going to talk about Vril energy, and I've been trying to say this word, and when I'm talking a lot, I kind of fuck it up. So if I misspeak it, I'm sorry. I'm talking about Vril, Vril. You can do some research on as far as like where it comes from mythologically and all that kind of stuff on your own. Really, my concern was how to utilize it in my own practice, and it's actually a lot more simple at this point in my knowledge of it than I thought. Like, and I've used it already a few times, and today's meditation with it was pretty awesome. Like, I'll explain that a little bit later. The way when I explain how to extract Vril, what all that is about. Anyways, so I'm gonna do a little bit of reading here. Vril is an energy that permeates people, things, ideas, and thoughts, and is actually created by ideas and thoughts, and is collected in objects that are connected or associated with these ideas, thoughts, perceptions, collective consciousness, or other types of energy. Furthermore, these objects that have absorbed the Vril energy remain connected to the Vril energy through time and space for an indefinite period of time. That kind of goes with, energy. We all know energy is like time and space is an illusion. Energy is consistent. Also, the greater connection to something you have, the more powerful to the Vril for you in that object. So now let's say like if there's a watch, you have a watch that's been passed down from generation to generation, or any type of something that would have like an emotional connection for you, because like your great granddad had it, like just passed down for several generations, and by the time you get to it, the Vril energy to you is going to be a lot more powerful than, let's say, it would be to me. Like, to me, I just see some old watch, and it doesn't mean that much to me. There's not like an emotional connection there, but to you, like, several people have held it, so you can draw that energy from it, like from your ancestors, and like it can. There's a lot of energy you can draw from that, and so the Vril for you would be more powerful than that. So this is true of like a lot of things, and so I'll go into more of that later as well. So something that has been held by a lot of people, like money or antiques that have passed through the hands of a lot of people, would also hold a lot of Vril energy because of all the connections made with that object and people's ideas of that object. So it's like definitely what somebody thinks of it, because if you have something that people think badly of and it's going to make that connection, obviously you don't want that. You don't want to use that kind of energy. You don't want to use that negative energy. And okay, so I'm going to keep on going out, but I'm going to switch to coins. So with coins, let's say anyone can draw from the Vril from a coin. Like, I can draw from the Vril from a coin, but let's say somebody like a coin collector would have a more powerful connection with be a more powerful conduit or circuit to the energy in the coin because of my history with coins. Like, if I was a coin collector, and it's like this rare coin that I get, and it's like I can draw more power from that because it means more to me emotionally than it would be to somebody else, right? So I make that circuit is stronger there. Things that were like you can find Vril in, you probably already kind of have a pretty good idea, an idea of like what I'm talking about. So things like vintage objects, coin collections, things owned by famous people, historical items, stuff like that. But you can draw energy from and you can draw from music. So you can like just put on, depending upon, like, say me as a musician, I can probably draw on something that it's music because the way I feel the music. Like, I have a connection with music maybe some people wouldn't have, but a lot of people have connection with the music. So like, if you have a song that you really like, you can actually draw from that and use the Vril energy in that. And actually drawing Vril energy from something is pretty fucking easy. It's a visualization technique. It's very simple, and like I said, I've been using it in my meditations. And today, when I use it, like, it tripped me out for a second because it's like half of. Okay, so let me explain to you how you should extract Vril first. So you would grab something in your less dominant hand. So if you're right-handed, it would be your left hand. A lot of you should know this already. And if you're left-handed, then it would be your right hand is like the hand that draws energy in. So I am right-handed, so I would hold something in my left hand. I've been using crystals. So a crystal that has a certain vibration and that a lot of people have probably touched. I don't know that, but the idea that the people have of that crystal is what I was drawing the energy from, and I was able to draw a good amount of energy from that. So what you do is when you draw Vril, you draw it into your aura. So what you do is you hold the object. Let's say, okay, let's say this bottle was like passed down from generation to generation for protection spells, and I want protection. And so, like it had some kind of protection oil in it or whatever, right? And so it soaked up that energy. So now I want to use this, or even if I've used it a bunch of times. And I'm holding it in my hand, and so what I do is I visualize the Vril energy, and it's going to be a light, or like a bluish energy that's coming out from this into wherever it is, like you're drawing it from, into your aura. So you hold this, and then you just envision the energy pulling out, just like any kind of visualization technique, drawing it out, and like it kind of just covers you. And this is how I've been doing it, just like it's covering your aura, slowly just enveloping you, and just going down this side, and then all the way until it covers this side. Earlier today when I was doing this one, and I've already been using it for like a few days already, but whenever I was doing it today, like whenever I got to this point, like my left ear, like it went like, my ear didn't go deaf, but it was like something was there, and like I couldn't hear anything over here. It was a fucking trip, man, and it kind of tripped me out for a second, but I held true to what I was doing. I thought it was pretty rad. I was just like, oh, that's fucking cool, you know, not like in a bad way, tripped me out. But so then after that, I was able to, you know, just finish my, I slightly broke concentration for a little bit, but I didn't lose it completely. So I was able to finish drawing the energy and covering myself with the Vril energy. And then that's whenever I created my thought form. Whenever you create thought forms, you bring them back. And I'll make another video on that. I don't want to make this one too long. It's at 7 minutes now. I'll make another video because there's a lot to it whenever I do this, because of some of the stuff that I've channeled from Moloch as far as how to unite your chakras and stuff, or have like all chakras into like one area. So I use that technique, and there's a sigil that I use as well. So anyways, so that, and then you just like put the Vril into whatever. So what you can do is you can, after you draw all the Vril into your aura, all the Vril that you feel that you need, and you're gonna experiment with this, you know. Then what you do is you use your projecting hand to actually like create what it is you want. So if you want, like, let's say like right here on my counter, I want like $100, just for example. I would just like use my projecting hand and then like envision the energy leaving my hand and leaving my aura into this area where $100 would appear. And then I just, with the most detail that I can, in the color blue. You don't want to like envision it as turning into the green color of the money. Envision it always in blue, and then like envision it just like that. You're creating it with that energy, and you can do this is to reinforce as many times as you'd like. If you want to do it once a day, and just see what happens. If you don't believe in your abilities, start with something small. Start with like it's something that wouldn't easily just happen. You know, like say if you got a paycheck coming. It really wouldn't, like you got a paycheck coming, maybe if it comes earlier than it normally would or something like that. Small things to reinforce your belief in it, and then you can grow with that, like if you have problems with that still, you know. So that's how you actually, they tell you when you start visualizing, when you start materializing things, and when you start manifesting, you're supposed to start out with small things. Well, that's why, because it's easier it's more believable for you to manifest something smaller or something that you come across pretty easily, as opposed to something like a car, you know. But as you become more advanced and you become more have more faith in your abilities, like after you start materializing a bunch of shit, like manifesting a bunch of shit, you'll be like, hey, why can't I manifest a car or whatever, right? And so you'll be able to do stuff like that. I've never manifested a car. I'm just saying, this is the way you're supposed to go, right? So okay, so that's what that is. But with the thought form I did, I had a pretty good experience with that, and I'll explain that in the next video. But that's my experiences with Vril energy. If you like this video, share it with your friends. If you hate it, share it with your enemies. Thanks for watching. Bye.